welcome to another episode of Flea Market Fantasy, the world's second greatest Bronze Age era comic book podcast. Joining me as always is new Mike L, Kevin Jank.
What's crapping, Mike Dell?
I don't know what that means. What does that even mean? Hey, this week, Jank, we're going back to Marvel. And last week you picked that ridiculous Joker Lex Luthor fiasco. So This week we're doing Marvel Supervillain Team Up issue 12 from June 1977, featuring the Red Skull and Doctor Doom.
Yeah, a misleading title because they are not teaming up whatsoever.
No, they are trying to murder each other on the moon. That's right, on the moon. They're fighting on the moon. This is the greatest comic book I've ever read, maybe. They're fighting each other on the moon. So
I mean, I would watch the WWE more if it was on the moon.
Yeah, that would be nice. Survivor Series on the moon. But this week, Marvel Supervillain Team Up, issue 12 from 1977. And I had this book when I was a kid. That's why I picked it.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so 40 years later, I can still remember certain panels and stuff, and the cover's, very vivid in my mind. I'm excited to do this book. Now, have you ever read any other Marvel supervillain team-ups?
No, actually never did.
I think we gave a little bit of the background on this title when we did our Namor episode with Mike L. there way back in the day. Because this title started with two giant-sized issues published in March and June of 1975, and then it became a regular bi-monthly series in August of 1975, and that series ran for 17 issues, although issues 15, 16, and 17 were published about a year apart, each of them.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's not good.
It became very irregularly published towards the end.
That's like DC's Doomsday Clock. That's pretty much the schedule they were on, I feel like.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know what that is.
That was the big sequel to Watchmen.
Oh,
that nobody really asked for.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that then. And so all told, the series ended in June of 1980. And originally it was Doctor Doom and Submariner. They were the duo that were always there. And
I can see them teaming up.
Yeah, kind of, but it seems like they're not the best of friends either, So.
Well, yeah, neither one of them are good at playing along with anyone else. Like they both think they're the best, and everyone else is shit. So I can see that's gonna, not totally vibe together.
Yeah, because there's stuff mentioned in this issue that would seem to imply that Doctor Doom screwed over Submariner at some point.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that later. And Doctor Doom appeared in the first 15 issues of the ongoing series as well. They were Submariner and Doctor Doom were in the two initial quarterly issues, and then in the ongoing series, Doctor Doom appeared in the first 15. Submariner was in issues 1 through 10, and issue 13. Although he was in this issue,
he was in this one, yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of the villain,
Sure.
Like
he's not
Red
in the
Skull
title.
Was the other villain.
Yeah.
Red Skull was the villain in issues 11, 12, and 15, although issue 15 was actually a reprint of Astonishing Tales, issue 4 and 5. And Magneto was the villain in issue 14. And then in issue 16 and 17, it was the Red Skull and the Hate Monger.
They're really running out of steam by that point.
Yeah. Wasn't the Hate Monger Hitler at one point?
I
think I remember that, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe.
Possibly. Who knows?
All right, so those are all teaming up because clearly they're buddies.
Yeah. They're Nazis, so they should team up. But in this issue, Doctor Doom and Red Skull not teaming up. Not
in the least.
So let's talk about that Doctor Doom. I don't know if we've ever actually done a book with Doctor Doom on this. Well, we had to have, right? On Flea Market.
Yeah, you've done so many Fantastic Four issues, but they were all about monkeys and shit.
Yeah. He may have been in, we did a Champions issue with Magneto. But I believe Doctor Doom was also in that at the end, because wasn't Doctor Doom brainwashing Magneto or something? And I think that's what it was. I can't remember.
Maybe. I mean, he must have been in Secret Wars #1.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. So, but just to recap, the Doctor Doom, of course, his real name is Victor Von Doom, and created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Do you know what issue was his first appearance, Jank?
It's in the first issue. They weren't fighting him, but I feel like he should have appeared in like Reed Richards' backstory as the ne'er-do-well roommate. So I'm going to say Fantastic Four #1 as Victor Von Doom.
Fantastic Four issue 5, 1962.
Oh. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah. Good guess, though. I mean, it was a pretty obvious guess. But, I guess it was good.
Yeah.
But, there's also another fella in this book called Prince Rodolfo. And Prince Rodolfo and his family were the rulers of Latveria before they were ousted by Doom. And so then that Prince Rodolfo fellow became the leader of the Latverian Underground, which I don't know if you're familiar with their work. They're an art rock band in the 70s. Latverian Underground.
But apparently, I don't know much about this Prince Rodolfo, but we see him briefly in here.
Yeah.
To get back at Dr. Doom is dressing up just like him.
Well, yeah, you'll see him in this book. He's dressed like Doom, but without that mask or anything. I can only imagine he was doing some sort of shenanigans where he was pretending to be a Doom bot or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, trying to get back into the castle that way.
Yeah, that's what my guess would be. And then also, interestingly, they say he's injured in this episode, and they show him this issue, and they show him being carried on like a gurney or whatever. But sadly, I hate to report it, apparently he died.
Oh no!
Because this is credited as his final appearance of Rodolfo. So yeah.
Wow, this is it? They don't even give him like a death scene? They're just like, yeah, he died off screen.
Yeah, I guess. Like, it doesn't seem like he was dead. It seemed like they were just taking him for medical attention. But yeah, apparently he died off screen. So.
Wow.
That's sad.
R.I.P. Rodolfo.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Doctor Doom story, or I guess Secret Wars was great, right? With Doctor Doom.
Yeah. I mean, Doctor Doom is one of the best Marvel villains for sure. He's got a lot, because one of the best things about him is he pretty much can interact with every Marvel hero pretty much, and it'll be interesting. Like, even that Luke Cage story where he owed him like $20 or whatever. Like, he's got some kind of story with all the heroes. Which you can't really say about the Red Skull. But, I mean, Doctor Doom works with everybody. Like, he works with Doctor Strange because they're both kind of sorcerers in a way.
Yep.
And he's always trying to get his mom out of hell and shit like that. He works with Iron Man because they're both, like, men in iron suits. He even fought, like, Spider-Man in one of the very first issues of Spider-Man just because they're like, oh, yeah, why not? Doctor Doom's a good villain.
He's fought the X-Men on occasion as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Seem to remember a Doctor Doom issue around the 160s or so.
Plus all the, obviously, like, Namor and Black Panther, he works with them because they're all leaders of their own nations, essentially.
Yeah. So, yeah, Doctor Doom's pretty great. But, yeah, Secret Wars, he beat the Beyonder. Doom outsmarted the Beyonder.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's pretty interesting, like, because he's flip-flopped back and forth between being a hero and a villain a lot. Kind of like Magneto, where it's like, he'll kind of be good sometimes, or he'll just do things that aren't totally dickish, but at the end of the day, he's still going to be an arrogant kind of asshole. Yeah,
in this issue, he's being a hero in a way. Oh, actually, he's trying to stop the Red Skull, so he is being a hero. But he's doing it because he says, how dare Red Skull destroy the world when I'm supposed to rule that world? So fuck you, Red Skull. Yeah.
Well, I think he made the same ray that Doctor Doom was going to use himself. I don't know if he just stole the ray or what, but yeah, he's mad that Red
stole
Skull's
Doctor
using
Doom's
his
technology to build the ray, I think, is what it was.
Yeah.
But,
maybe
Doom just wanted to be the one to pull the trigger. I can't remember what did he say.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's my ray. I'm gonna anyway. So the Red Skull. We've talked about the Red Skull before. Go back to the episode where we did Captain Britain, I believe. He was tackling the Red Skull off of a clock tower on the cover. I remember that. But the Red Skull's name is Johann Schmidt, and he was created by Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. And his first appearance was Captain America Comics issue 7, 1941. So Is he the oldest Marvel villain?
Oh, that's pretty old. I mean, maybe Baron Zemo would give him a run for his money, but that's about it.
Good question, yeah. Yeah, he would have had to appear. Yeah, I don't know when Baron Zemo's first appearance was. I'm going to guess this could be the part of the show where we Google things, but I don't feel like it. So we'll just say Red Skull is the oldest villain. Another character in this book that we will be encountering is a fella named Shroud. Shroud.
Yeah. The old Shroud.
I don't think we've ever discussed Shroud here on the show. Do you know his real name?
No, is it something like Shrike or something, or?
No.
I don't know.
Maximilian Quincy Coleridge is his real name. That's a pretty great name. He sounds like he would be like one of the villains in an 80s sex comedy.
70s, so they're like, hey.
Yeah.
Maximilian would have played him.
Yeah, exactly. Maximilian Quincy Coleridge is trying to take over the ski resort. What are we going to do? Let's fight back as only we can. With pranks.
With parties.
So, the Shroud was created by Steve Englehart and Herb Trimpe, and his first appearance was actually Supervillain Team Up issue 5, 1976. So he started in the pages of this very series. Now, how do you know the Shroud, Jank?
I feel like I read some West Coast Avengers stories that had him in there.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I believe he was first in the West Coast Avengers limited series that started it all. I believe he was one of the first people involved in that. Issue 1, I think he was involved somehow, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Founding member. But not there for long, I don't think.
Well, I don't think he was a part of the team, but he was part of the storyline somehow, if I'm remembering properly.
They're like, we don't let handicapped people on the team. Sorry. Get out of here.
Because he is blind.
Yeah.
He is blind.
No blind.
How much do you know about the Shroud?
Not a whole lot. I also remember him being in Daredevil not too long ago when Daredevil moved back to San Francisco. Cause then they were both blind guys in the same town, so they had to hang out.
They were part of a club.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'll give you his backstory. You tell me if this sounds familiar, all right? When he was 10, he witnessed his parents being gunned down in front of him, and he dedicated his life to fighting crime.
Boy, that does sound very familiar.
A little bit.
Can't quite place it.
So then after college, he joined the Cult of Kali, not the Great Kali from WWE fame, just the Cult of Kali, and he studied various styles of martial arts.
Temple of Doom?
No, different Kali there, not different Kali. But he studied martial arts, and during the graduation ceremony, he was branded on the eyes with a red-hot iron. That's not good. That's not what you want to do, you know? What kind of ceremony is that?
Diploma.
Yeah.
That's going to make you a much worse cult member, I would think.
I never would have joined my writing. I never would have joined my writing program if they told me, hey, during the graduation ceremony, we're going to brand you with a red-hot iron. But that's exactly what they did. And he lost his eyesight, but he gained extrasensory perception.
Of course.
So
that's how it works in the Marvel Universe. You lose your sight, you're getting something else.
It's not exactly like Daredevil's. He has that radar sense and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. He seems to get around. Like, you would not know he's a blind guy reading this book.
No. Yeah, apparently his stuff is more mystical in nature somehow.
Yes.
That's what it sounded like from this book that we just read.
Because he can also summon the mystical Dark Force by opening portals to the Dark Force dimension.
Oh. Him in Cloak.
I think we all know how painful that can be. But yeah, he can open these portals and he can like fill a room or fill an area with just pitch black. And it's like so black that even light can't penetrate it. You know? So.
Oh. Too bad he didn't have that over his eyes.
Well,
at graduation day.
but he can see through it with his so everyone else is blind, but now he can see because of his perceptions, his extrasensory stuff. But so that's what he can do. And there's a couple people. Yeah, you mentioned Cloak. That's the same dimension, right? The Dark Force dimension. That's his deal, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same place.
Yeah, so, but Cloak can teleport
weird that there's
through
a guy named Cloak and Shroud.
Yeah,
they're both items of clothing that are kind of cape-like.
Involving the Dark Force dimension. But Cloak can open his cloak, and then Dagger jumps in beside him, right? And then she can they teleport places, or is that right? What he does?
Yeah, he teleports. Yeah, through the Dark Force dimension, I believe.
See, this Shroud character, he can't do that. But so
what a bitch.
Yeah. Isn't there another a Russian lady or something, Dark Force, who can who can make projections of Dark Force energy?
Dark Star.
Yeah. She was in that Champions book we did way back in the day with Michael. So, all right. So this Shroud character, he goes insane at one point in his life, and we actually get to witness the reason why he goes insane in this book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we kind of get to witness it.
Yeah, we didn't see the fallout of it, I guess so.
we hear tell of the event that caused it, but we don't actually see it. All right, so there it is. That sets the stage for Marvel Supervillain Team Up issue 12. Let's take a look at that cover, Jank. This is drawn by Dave Cockrum of X-Men fame.
Yeah.
And he was a prolific cover artist for Marvel during the 70s. And this is 30 cents. And across the top, we get the Marvel Comics Group little ribbon. And then beneath that, Dr. Doom and the Sinister Red Skull. Supervillain Team Up. And in the little box over there on the left, we get a picture of Dr. Doom's face and Red Skull's face. Now, Red Skull seems kind of happy, hey, I'm the Red Skull. Dr. Doom looks pissed.
Well, he has to share it with the Red Skull.
Yeah.
It should be Doom.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, he's sad. He doesn't want to be sharing that with the Red Skull. And the cover, we see Dr. Doom's in the foreground, standing all Dr. Doom-like, holding a ray gun in his left hand, and he's making a fist in his right, and he's looking over back at the Red Skull, who's on a rocket sled coming right at him.
Yeah.
And they're in outer space.
And there's an explosion happening between Dr. Doom's legs.
Yeah.
Which is very strange.
His Red Skull shot his rocket sled between Dr. Doom's legs, and there's an explosion. And at Dr. Doom's
Charlie
feet,
Brown's.
At Dr. Doom's feet, it says "Death Dole!" exclamation point. And then on the left, we also have a white bubble there that says "Now!" the exclamation point. The savage showdown between the two greatest masters of menace. How about it, Jack? It's pretty exciting.
Wow. Yep, I can see why you rushed out to buy this one.
Yeah, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Red Skull on a rocket sled going right at Dr. Doom. And in the background, we get all kind of purple and red and all kind of stuff. Yeah, this is a hell of a cover. I'm a big fan of this cover.
Yeah, it's very colorful. I always appreciate that for sure.
Yeah. How about Red Skull's rocket sled? How do you feel about that?
Not a fan of the whole rocket sled aspect. It kind of reminds me of Dr. Wily in the Mega Man games, but yeah, it doesn't seem like the most efficient space transport. Maybe you get something that covers your whole body. You're not just
it looks a little
exposed.
different in the book, but the fact that it doesn't cover his whole body means that Red Skull's got to wear one of them fish bowls on his head.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pulling a Mysterio.
So he's a good look. All right, so we open up the book here. We see, the creators. I forgot to mention the creators. The writer is, according to the credits here, Boisterous Bill Mantlo. And the artist is Battling Bob Hall.
Yeah.
The anchor, Whirling
Don
Perlin. Whirling Don Perlin. Titanic Tom Ors is the letter, and Genuine George Russos is the colorist. Oh, and of course, amiable, affable, and artful Archie Goodwin is the editor.
I always love when they do the nickname thing. That was classic Marvel right there.
Now, Bill Mantlo, we've discussed on this podcast many, many times. He was considered like the fill-in guy in the 70s. Anytime they needed a writer, get Mantlo, and he just fill in issues and stuff. He also did. He's done so many books that we've done, but Micronauts. That's what I was trying to think of. He did the Micronauts.
Oh.
And I think he may have done that Champions issue. I keep referencing throughout this episode. But he's done it.
Very possible. Yeah.
And the artist,
he's come up quite a bit. I know.
Battling Bob Hall. We just your very first episode, Jank, Squadron Supreme.
Yeah.
Bob Hall.
He's done 40% of this new era of the show.
So we've talked about those fellas enough. Go back, listen to past episodes to get their full backgrounds. Now at the top where there's a big yellow box, and it says 2 monarchs. One, the armor-clad tyrant of a European pocket country. The other, I've never heard the term pocket country. Have you?
No.
The other, the proud prince of a city that lies comatose beneath the ocean waves. Well, this is wrong already. Together, an uneasy alliance destined to shake the very world itself. Stan Lee presents Dr. Doom and the Savage Submariner. See, this is, I think they forgot to change that box.
That's not what the cover promised. They sure did.
This is the box. This is the box they used for all the other issues when, Namor was the guy. But no, it's the Red Skull now. Red Skull in there.
I don't think they forgot. I think they just got plain lazy. That might cost an extra 5 cents, so we're not going to do it.
They just left it in there. So anyway. All right, Jank, how does this issue begin?
We've got Dr. Doom is in his spaceship, his Doom ship, exiting the Earth's atmosphere, going up into space. Him and Shroud are heading up to stop Red Skull's hypno ray.
Yeah, the Red Skull's got a giant hypno ray floating around the Earth, and he's gonna shoot it at the Earth there. And will it just make everybody think they're chickens, or what does this hypno ray do exactly? Do they ever spell that out?
I think they said it will just make them all, Red Skull's slaves.
Okay.
So Doom kind of wants to. They're kind of worried that Doom's gonna just take the thing and make everyone's Doom slave now instead of Red Skull slave. So they're like, that's why they send the Shroud up along with him, to keep him honest and make sure he doesn't just use the power for himself. Captain America is on the.
Yeah, go ahead about Captain America.
He's on the view screen, kind of talking to him and being like, "Hey, we're only allies until this is over. And I'm taking you down, Doom."
But here's my question. Why did they send the Shroud with Doom? Why didn't Captain America go with Doom?
Yeah, that's a good question. This guy who was just invented. Yeah. Apparently, he's trying to be a superhero, but nobody really knows him or should trust him that much.
I guess that's how he got involved in all this, because, his goal in life is to fight crime and evil people. So he was trying to go to Latveria and, murder Dr. Doom, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. I think.
Bold move.
Yeah. Right in his own backyard. Taking him out. But,
I guess that's why he sent him, then, is just because, if this goes south, he'll take out Doom. He will murder him.
I don't know. I kind of want Captain America steering the ship there. I want him being the guy,
Yeah.
Whatever.
You can trust him with a slave ray. He's not
because then on the Captain America ship, wherever the hell they are, I don't even know where they are exactly. It's Captain America, but he's chatting to Doom, like you said on the video screen, and then we see Prince Rodolfo getting hauled away on a stretcher. Sadly, he's dead. They don't say that, but he's dead.
It's the last we'll see of him.
And then we also see Namor. And Captain America's like, "Hey, Namor, you want to go help me fight the Red Skull and talk to Doom?" And what does Namor say, Jake?
He's like, "Yeah, not my pig, not my farm.
Yeah.
I've determined that this ray doesn't affect me, and it's not going to affect my people who are all in a coma anyway. So this is like a surface people problem. So you go handle it. I'm out." For that reason, I'm out.
This Namor. Yeah, he mentions his people were comatose because I believe Dr. Doom is responsible for making his people all comatose. If I'm not mistaken. I think that is true, right? Because then he says, he says, "But I will hold Doom to his pledge to restore my subjects, though the world be torn asunder." So he's like, even if the world blows up, I'm still going to hold Doom to his promise. So I was thinking Doom was responsible. Maybe Doom just promised to help.
Yeah, maybe
people.
he knows how to fix it. Yeah, that could be.
Sure. Either way, not a good look for Namor here. He doesn't come across as a nice guy.
I mean, has Namor ever come across as a nice guy? He's pretty much always an asshole. He only cares about his people, and that's it.
I did see a picture of that Namor from Wakanda Forever, and he does have pointy ears. I did notice that.
Oh, okay. He did give him something.
Yeah. He looks like an idiot.
He's not even from Atlantis. I didn't even know about that part, but yeah, he's not even from Atlantis. They changed it to something else. Yeah.
Was that for legal reasons, or why did they have to do that?
I don't know. I guess just they didn't want to be like Aquaman, even though Namor came first.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense. I can understand that.
I don't. That's dumb.
So anyway, so Doom and the Shroud are flying up there to get into. Hey, they get up into space pretty quick, and then Doom just says, "Hey, Shroud, you might want to activate your oxygen pack because I'm just ejecting you from the ship right now." And he spits him out of the ship. So
yep, because the Shroud, I guess, is the last ditch, fail safe plan. Where if Dr. Doom fails, then he's just going to try to blow up the ray. Which I don't know why that wasn't their first plan, but I guess they're afraid it's going to go off. It's got a premature shot.
Because Doom's right there. So I'm guessing Doom doesn't want to destroy the ray because he still wants to use it. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
it took him months to make that thing.
Yeah. Still kind of like to use that. So they don't want to destroy it. So they just spit Shroud out into space. And, you're like, hey, we'll come back and pick you up maybe. Don't worry about it. You just, you watch that little laser there and, make sure it doesn't go off too soon or something. I, meanwhile, have to go fight the Red Skull on the moon. This is the greatest. It's so awesome. So Shroud's just floating in space, and then Doom is he's envisioning the Red Skull out the window of his little spaceship, and he's saying, "Gloat while you can, you fleshless crimson cur. I have beaten you once, and I will do so again." And he beat him in Astonishing Tales issue 5. Little editor's note there. And again, that is reprinted in this series, I believe, in issue 15. So if you wanted to read that. So then
they're reprinting that after this story that references it.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have done that a little bit earlier and people would have cared more.
Maybe it opens up with like Doom relaxing and saying, "Hey, remember that time I beat Dr. Doom? Let's think of that." But here's probably my favorite
trapped
panel.
In a freezer.
Here's my favorite panel though of the whole book there, Jank. We get Red Skull lounging in a lazy boy, and one of his hapless slaves is putting his moon boots on him. He's just sitting there relaxing. And this poor son of a bitch.
It appears to be a lazy boy made of like solid gold.
Yeah. He's the Red Skull, only the best. But look at that hapless sap putting on the moon boots. He's miserable. Look, he's like,
yeah. Red Skull's feet cannot smell good.
And Red Skull's he's got some armored suit from the waist down there. And then he's got his Nazi windbreaker on with his Nazi band. And he's smoking one of his fancy cigarettes. Because the Red Skull's classy. He always smokes in a cigarette holder, you know?
Yeah, the cigarillo thing, yeah.
Yeah. But this is pretty great. And his minions are telling him, "Hey, here comes Dr. Doom." And Red Skull's like, don't worry about it. I'll beat the hell out of Dr. Doom. And this time I am ready. And then one of his guys says, but her skull, if you should lose, oh no, he made a big mistake.
Uh-oh.
You don't question the Red Skull, Jack, because first, what the Red Skull is going to do is he's going to give you blatant exposition for 2 pages, filling you in on the story of the back. And
which that guy probably already knows.
And then he will murder you. And that's what he does. But,
yeah. I like that then he calls back because you dared to question me. I was like, when was that? Oh yeah, that was at the beginning of this long exposition thing. I had to go back and check again.
That was 2 pages ago, yeah. So what is the exposition? Can you summarize it for the kids? I don't know.
Red Skull was fighting Captain America and the Falcon. He lost. So then he got an idea to pose as like a, arms buyer and just anonymously buy up pieces of Doom's weaponry and been putting it all together to use it against Doctor Doom. And he apparently shrunk Doom at one point.
Yeah,
to 6
yeah,
inches
that was
tall.
the best. He just mentions it, and he just throws it away in passing. Like, oh, by the way, I also shrunk Doom and the Captain to 6 inches tall. My plan was perfect until the Submariner restored them, and Rodolfo, hoping to destroy me. And then Rodolfo, hoping to destroy me, actually teleported me away. Here's my idea, Red Skull. Once you shrink them to 6 inches, maybe just step on them. Just,
This would have been over in 2 seconds.
He's just carrying them around in his pocket. What was he doing with them? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's probably that old thing of I'm going to toy with them first, and that's your first mistake there, buddy.
But I like that he just throws that away. Oh, yeah, by the way, I shrunk them down to 6 inches. And, all right. So, but yeah, this guy, he says, hey, you fool, but you question me. You are a greater fool, Wilhelm. At least he knows his name. For you have dared to question the infallibility of the Red Skull. Franz, put on some music for Wilhelm to ponder. Chopin's funeral march. Chopin's funeral march. And he poops him in the face with his cigarette thing there, And
the red smoke comes out.
Yeah. Turns him into a red skull. He's dead.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
That does look pretty cool. Yeah. Like how that looks.
Yep. All right, so Red Skull, he's getting ready.
Now, does the Red Skull at this point have any actual powers? I know at one point he was in like a cloned body of Captain America or something, but does he actually have any powers at this point other than that weird cigarette holder?
No. I think at this point he's just an evil dude. His power is evil. That's all his power is.
Just fueled by hate. Yeah.
Well, he's a really smart guy too, with the technology and whatnot. But I think at one point, like you said, he did get in the super strength of Captain America because he was in a body of his, right?
He cloned him and then somehow got the skull face again.
Did he ever have super soldier serum himself, though, even before the clone body?
I think the MCU tried to do that, but in the comics, I don't think that was a thing.
All right. So yeah, the Red Skull, he's on his moon base. That's where he's at. He's inside his little moon base. So when he sees Doom flying up on his little Doom ship there, he launches some missiles to take down Doom. And Doom is just streaking. He's so streaking right towards some moon mountains. He's not even paying attention to the moon mountains looming ahead.
Oops. Yeah, he's trying to just outrace those missiles and wasn't paying attention.
But then he ejects at the last second there, Jank. I like this panel, him shooting out of the ship there. His hands out. Yeah.
Flying away like Superman.
Yeah. And he and thrusts free at the last moment with my belt jets. Now, Skull, the duel has begun, and Doom comes bringing death. Oh, this is great. And
what a sucker, using belt jets instead of an old soda bottle with kitchen chemicals in it. That's
like
how you
Lex
make a jetpack.
Luthor. Yeah, last episode. Then dig Red Skull's fancy spacesuit. It's all metallic and everything. But then he makes sure that right on the chest there's a giant swastika. That son of a bitch. That feels
even though you're in space and nobody's gonna see you, it's important that swastika's on there so you can feel it. It's like a pride thing for yourself.
What a creep this Red Skull is.
That's how you know he's bad.
So Doom lands on the moon, and his armor's sealed up, so he can survive on the moon. And but here comes Red Skull on his rocket sled. Man, look at that. And maybe describe the rocket sled for the people there, Jay.
Oh boy. I mean, it is very sled-like. It's kind of just like a toboggan, but made of metal with a bunch of missiles underneath it, it looks like.
I don't know.
I guess
are those
they're
missiles
just
or
rockets?
Yeah, those might be
they're just kind of rocket
thrusters or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a gun.
He's got a number of those on each side. Looks like about 6 on each side. Yeah. Yeah, big gun at the front. It's got like a kind of a, motorcycle windshield on the front of it. And there's like
keep
these
the
two
space
giant
bugs.
handlebars that come out into you. Yeah.
The windshield's to keep the space bugs out of his face. But yeah, his giant handlebars like a big Harley Davidson kind of thing. But yeah, but they point straight up like a U, like you said. So yeah, a rocket sled.
The ultimate space driving technology.
And he just tries to
This
run
is my
Doom
favorite
down.
bit of dialogue right here, is that where Dr. Doom is like, the Skull's speed is magnified by his rocket ship. What does that mean? The rocket ship is the only thing giving him speed. It's not like he would be running very fast in space if he didn't have a rocket sled.
Mantlow's gonna Mantlow. They can't all be gems, But that is a very good point. His speed is magnified. But he says, but if I can unseat him from his rocket sled, so he tries to shoot his little gauntlet blasters at him. But Skull says, you strike in vain against one of your own force fields, Von Doom. I used your technology. And he's like, I built this. The stuff I stole from you. So suck it, nerd. And then what does he shoot at him?
He activates he shoots an electronic beam that activates these stun mines that apparently he placed in the ground beforehand.
Yeah, the stun mines. They kind of look like little game pieces from the board game Sorry. If you
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
in the ground.
Dr. Doom didn't notice those just sitting there on the moon, apparently. Oh yeah, these things.
I should run next to these metal things sticking out of the ground and see what happens. So, he shocks them, but good with them stun mines. So Dr. Doom is like lying on the ground, smoldering, Kirby crackle coming off of him. And we see the Red Skull in the distance just flying in on his little rocket sled there. And then we cut to the Shroud in outer space. And he's got a boomerang or something. What the fuck's he doing here? Throwing a...
It's his Magna-rang.
Oh, he really is Batman, isn't
boomerang? He? Yeah.
He stole everything from Batman.
Except the ability to see. Didn't get that one.
So, he uses a little magnet rang there to pull him to the laser beam floating out in space, and he can sense underneath it, oh no, the hypno ray's about to fire,
For some reason, his mystical senses can even tell that wiring is going in the wrong direction or something, so he knows exactly which place to go to. Which I guess is better than Daredevil. I don't think Daredevil could do that.
Yeah, I don't think he could sense the electricity humming or something, right? Like it's humming.
Yeah, I don't think it helps him understand, electrical currents or anything like that, but how to know things, how things are wired per se.
And again, there's no sound in space, right? So.
Yeah, true.
So his radars, would Daredevil be completely crippled in space?
Yeah, I would think so. Cause he'd have to have a helmet on, which would, deafen everything.
I'm very confused by all this. Hey, Daredevil, stay out of space. Stick in Hell's Kitchen, all right? But anyway, Shroud says, oh my God, what am I going to do? The ray's about to go off. Doom, where are you? And he's screaming, but again, no sound in space. So, we cut back to Doom in Red Skull here. Red Skull's about to mow him down with his little, rocket sled. But Doom is, he's sneaky. What does he do, Jank?
He waits till, the Red Skull gets a little bit closer, and then at the last second, he busts out his, ionic blade? It's basically a big knife type thing out of his wrist, and then he does the limbo, and kind of limbos under, the Red Skull's ship as it goes by, and cuts it from the bottom. Because he's like, well, the force field will only cover the top part, not the bottom for some reason, because that's...
Yeah, I don't know why that would be, but yeah.
Yeah.
But Doom figured it out.
So he cuts the shit out of it.
Yeah, slices it right down the middle, so the rocket sled is incapacitated. It crashes. Red Skull jumps off it. And Red Skull, oh no, he's hoisted on his own petard, Jank. He lands on his own stun mines. Oh no.
Yeah, it cracks the shit out of his helmet bubble.
Yeah, his little fishbowl helmet is all cracked and shit. And now we cut back to, Doom's laughing at him. He's like, ah. He's literally laughing, ah. And, Red Skull's terrified. And now we cut back to space, and, Captain America is now showing up in his own little spacecraft. See, again, why didn't he just go instead of Shroud?
Day late and $1 short. Yeah. That's very strange.
So, he says, hey, wait a minute, there's that hypno ray. And oh my God, there's the Shroud. Hold on, fella. That's what he says, just like our buddy Dave. The Damashek says, hey, hold on, fella. So he hits him with the tractor beam, and he draws him into the ship. And he's like, Shroud, are you still alive there? Apparently what happened, Jank. Now, we don't see this as readers of this book, but the hypno ray went off, but the Shroud just, stuck himself in front of it to take the full blast of the hypno ray.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah. He got
I wonder what that
blasted
would do, because it would just hypnotize you. Like, it's not like it was a laser.
Because he says he got blasted point blank. He's breathing, but that's about it. What could have happened to him? Unless in an attempt to swing the muzzle to that hellish ray away from Earth. There's no telling what those brain-numbing rays have done to his sanity. That's another one I owe you, Skull. Wait, is he saying thank you to this? No. He's saying I'm going to get revenge on you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he's saying.
I owe you a good pounding.
But
and then he's like, I'm going to take the Shroud to a hospital, and then, so Doom, I'll come get you if Doom hasn't killed you already. But, so I guess he came all this way for nothing. He's just going to get the Shroud and go back to Earth.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, man, he's just giving up on everything.
All right, because, if I'm Captain America, if I'm writing Captain America, or if I am Captain America, he's going to save the day. He's going up there. He's going to go he's going to go down to the moon now and beat the fuck out of both of them,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm Captain America.
I guess if the Shroud did get the full force of the ray, maybe it only has one shot, so that's, whoever wins down there, it doesn't even matter anymore because it's already served its purpose.
But you think the full brunt of the ray, if it was going to hypnotize all of Earth,
and
he,
and he took all of it,
over. Or he should be obliterated into I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is why the Shroud went insane, though, because of this.
Okay.
So, yeah. Because there was a time, for many subsequent appearances, he was insane.
Yeah. I'm sure they eventually figured that out somehow, magically.
Yeah. Drop the flower pot on his head. That's how they usually do it in sitcoms.
Yep.
All right, so we cut back to the moon there, and man, Doom is just pimp slapping Red Skull. Backhand him, boom. And Red Skull's like, hey, you son of a bitch, guess what? I got an ionic blade too. And he pulls out a sword. And it's like a magic sword, because it can shoot laser beams too.
Yeah, it's like a Link's sword in Legend of Zelda.
Take your word for it. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. No idea.
Did you ever play any Nintendo games?
I never had Zelda. And, our buddy, LCS Hockey's friends, Zippy and, Matthew had a Zelda. I played it over their house once or twice. But yeah, I never owned Zelda, so never got into it.
I never actually did either, but I rented it quite a bit.
So, he shoots him with his ionic blade, and he punctures a hole right in Doom's armor.
Yeah.
Doom's like, what the fuck? How'd that happen? And,
now we're both gonna just die.
Yeah, because Doom was making fun of Red Skull, like, your helmet's cracked, you're gonna run out of air soon. And, Red Skull's like, oh yeah, no, what's up? I punctured your suit. You're gonna run out of air soon. But, Dr. Doom, Jank, he's got this, ice ray on his, in his suit, and he freezes the hole, covers it with ice.
Yeah.
That's pretty crafty.
Pretty smart. Yeah, I like it.
So he seals up the suit, and then he just jumps right back in at the Red Skull, and they're still duking it out. Man,
apparently, yeah, he only has one arm now because he has to keep one arm on the hole, I think, to keep freezing it or something.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe, do you think the glove froze to it as well? I don't know.
Oh. Well, I mean, if he took the glove off, then I feel like that's going to let the air out again of your arm.
So the Red Skull's got 2 arms, and Doctor Doom's trying to prevent him from stabbing him in the face with that ionic sword. And he's able to overpower him a little bit here. And even with 1 arm, I guess Doctor Doom should be stronger than the Red Skull, right? I mean,
yeah, I would think so.
Because that suit's got extra stuff built into it to make him strong, right?
Yeah.
And he twists Red Skull's wrist there. So the ionic blade shoots into the moon mountains that we encountered before, and that starts a landslide. And I don't know if you couldn't tell it from the art, you also get it in the dialogue, right? I'm pretty
sure. Yeah. They make it very obvious.
Red Skull says, I could do lieber. I like when they mix in German.
Yep.
You are forcing me to trigger an energy burst, which strikes the peak above us, causing yes, Skull, a rock slide. And mein Gott, I am pinned beneath the boulders. My blade, if I can but reach it, its energy bursts can. And Dr. Doom comes up, kicks away the sword and says, free you, mad one? Think not. This duel is done, Skull, and the victory dooms. Now, I think Dr. Doom's won, Jank, but then what happens?
The Red Skull's guys show up. They're showing up to help him out. And Red Skull's like, haha, I've got the numbers. You've lost. Dr. Doom's like, no, because you guys are going to join my side, aren't you? Or else you're going to die. And they're like, well, yep, we're going to help Dr. Doom now.
Yeah, they just did an about face.
Doctor, right. You are ours to command.
and Skull, he's buried under all these rocks, and he's screaming, traitorous, ungrateful scum! Free me, I order you! Come back, you fools! Now, I thought this was a little abrupt, the immediate switch, but when you think about it, though, these guys just saw Red Skull murder Wilhelm earlier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, they're like, alright, yeah, fuck you, Skull. We're going with Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the Joker, where he'll just randomly kill his own henchmen. It's like, how much loyalty can you have to a guy like that?
Yeah, they showed up just in case, because they thought Red Skull was probably going to be winning, so they showed up, you know? And then when they found out he's fucked. He's not getting out from under this rock. Yeah, alright, Doom, we're with you, buddy. And,
none of us have powers. We're not going to take down Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
We're on your side now, buddy. Get in our ship. We're taking you home.
Yeah, so Dr. Doom gets in their ship, and because, again, his ship crashed into those moon mountains, so he needs their ship. And they're flying off, and Red Skull still on the moon, buried under rocks, with his air supply slowly leaking through the cracks of his fishbowl helmet. And he says, you can't leave me, Verdammt swine. I don't know.
Verdammt, I think.
Yeah, Verdammt swine. I don't speak German. I'm pretty sure swine means monkey, right? Is that what that means?
Yeah. It sounds about right.
So then Doom tells his other guys, he says, hey, plot a course for Latveria, helmsman. Doom will sleep, and do not disturb my rest, for my dreams will be of peace. Wow. And then
this Doom's got a lot of confidence to fall asleep amongst his former enemies that were just
there's no way I'd be sleeping. They would just slice his throat, right? And, but that guy flying the ship, he says, it shall be as you say, Herr Doctor. And wow, they even spelled doctor with a K to really drive home the German. And then beneath that it says, and slowly the metal-clad monarch turns from the view screen, the cold dead moon growing ever smaller behind him. And that's how it ends. Next issue, Atlantis awakes as the malevolent genius of Dr. Doom and the awesome savagery of the Submariner are reunited in When Walks the Warlord. Marvel marches on. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, how about that? Come on, Jack. This is great. I
mean, I am curious to see how Red Skull survived this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trapped on the moon, running out of oxygen rapidly. Somebody must have came and got him literally right away.
I bet he wishes he didn't kill Wilhelm right about now, right? He's probably like, come on, Wilhelm. Help me out, buddy. Sorry about that. Maybe you're right. Maybe I could lose. All right, you have a point, Wilhelm. Maybe that was a little hasty.
Maybe since Wilhelm's body has a Red Skull now, he just like transferred into that dead body somehow.
I don't know. Yeah, I wonder how he does survive this. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to flash forward to issue. Well, okay, because again, he's in issue 15, but that's a reprint. So
reprint. So
16 and 17, he's with the Hate Monger. So I guess we'll have to go to issue 16 and figure it out.
Oh.
Yeah. But what'd you think of Bill Mantlow's writing here, Jank?
It was pretty goofy for the most part, but I did appreciate the kind of tit for tat nature of this battle where, like, you know, every time somebody came up with a plan, then the other person would come up with a counter plan, essentially, and we kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, I jumped ahead to issue 16 real quick. And Red Skull, it opens up with the Red Skull and the Hate Monger just having dinner together. So.
Maybe he came back in Captain America or something before then?
Yeah, possibly. Because they don't seem too concerned with it.
Maybe he tells him over dinner, like, here's the story of how I got off the moon.
Maybe he does. But it's kind of weird, though, because Red Skull, he's working out and stuff. He's doing push-ups and after dinner, you know. He likes to work out. And he's not wearing a shirt. So he's got his his giant red skull, but a normal, like, white male chest and torso, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as cool.
But I like Mantlo here, what he did. Usually, Mantlow's hit or miss. Sometimes it can be not so good, actually terrible. But I thought what he did here was really good. It captured a lot of that Stan Lee feel, early Stan Lee with the alliteration and over the top kind of stuff. But the battle between Doom and Skull on the moon is amazing. What more can you ask for in a comic book? Red Skull and Dr. Doom fighting on the moon. This is the best.
I found it later.
Oh,
in the issue.
What'd you find? I hear someone
later
calling
on in number
you?
16. Apparently, no. Every time I try to click on this comic, it keeps loading YouTube. I'm like, I don't want that. But apparently, Arnim Zola showed up with his men like right afterwards and saved Red Skull.
Well,
don't know why he was there, but yeah.
Now, Arnim Zola, at the time this happened, was he still an actual human being, or was he that guy with the robot body and the...
No, he was the TV screen guy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's good. So I like what Mantlo did here. How do you feel? I thought the art here by Bob Hall was strong as well. It was solid.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. Maybe it's just the difference in the inking or just the fact that it wasn't as clean as it was on Squadron Supreme, but it looked good here for the most part. I didn't really have any issues.
Yeah, the inks on Squadron Supreme were so good. I can't remember who did them. Remember, we made a point of pointing out because that made Bob Hall look the best of, really great. So, but
I think I like this more.
Maybe this is like classic 70s stuff.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that, by 85 or whatever that didn't seem that cool anymore. Whereas in the 70s, this was pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed everything about this book. We do get the blatant exposition from Mantlo there, the 2 pages. That was a little rough. Maybe they could have been a better explanation for what the guys turned. So you could have had someone say, hey, we remember Wilhelm there, Red Skull? That's why we're leaving. Maybe just mention it real quick or something. That's why we're switching sides. But still,
I guess he didn't want to over-explain there, but it is kind of funny. Just also, it's more played for comedy, I guess, where they just automatically turn. Like that is kind of funny.
I don't know if that was intentional, though. I don't think that was intentionally played for comedy. I think it's accidentally humorous. But I love this.
Possible.
It would have been better. I don't know why the Shroud is here, but
yeah.
Again, I would appreciate it better if Captain America was just involved from the beginning. But I guess they needed Shroud to get shot by that hypno ray, and then he's goes insane. So I guess it plays a part in his character arc. So that's good. But at the same time, I just don't give a fuck about the Shroud.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, they're giving an arc to a character that nobody was really clamoring for, and apparently it was just invented at this point. So
yeah, I guess they were trying to make him into something. They're like, hey, let's Let's rip off Batman again. Let's give it a shot. There you go. I don't know, but I love this. Man, again, it's childhood memories for me. The cover is great by Dave Cockrum. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. I love this. This is the best. It's probably should be an 8, but I'm giving it a 9 for the childhood memories. So there you
go. Yeah, I was gonna go more 7.5, so I think I will go with that.
That's fair.
Almost an 8.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's pretty solid for the most part.
Yeah. This is great. Doctor Doom and Red Skull fighting on the moon.
If you got rid of that rocket sled earlier, I probably would have gone up to a full 8.
All right, Jank. So next week it's your pick. Now let's recap here because you've been on the show now for like a month. And your first choice was Fallen Angels, right? Wasn't
Nothing but winners.
Yeah. And then your second choice was Joker.
Yeah, another good one.
Yeah, 2 swings and misses. So let's make sure let's choke up on the bat a bit. Make sure we connect with this one. What do you think? What do you got for us?
All right. Well, hopefully this will be better. A couple weeks ago we did Black Panther comic to tie in with the movie that was coming out. So in that spirit, to tie in with something that should be coming out tomorrow as of the time we're recording this episode, it'll already be out by the time everyone's hearing this episode, but the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special comes out on Disney Plus tomorrow.
What? I never heard of this.
Yeah. It's something to do with I guess they want to cheer up Star-Lord, so they try to kidnap Kevin Bacon.
This sounds terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll either be a lot of fun or really terrible. But in that spirit, I figured we'd go with the comic book origin of Peter Quill in Marvel Preview number 4.
Ooh, look at that.
First appearance of Star-Lord.
Yeah, how about that?
It's black and white book. So that'll be interesting.
Marvel Premiere issue 4.
Marvel Preview.
Oh, Marvel Preview. Yeah, there's a bunch of books that sounded alike back then. Marvel Preview issue 4. Yeah, this will be pretty good. What year did you say this was?
I think it was like 75, around there.
Do you know the creators involved here? Because I know we've talked about the guy who created Star-Lord before on the show, and I can't remember who it was.
I think Steve Englehart was the one, actually.
But I'm thinking about the artist, I mean. That's what I was trying to...
Let's see.
Because Mike L and I just talked about him towards the end of Mike L's run.
Archie Goodwin's the editor. That doesn't help me. By Steve Englehart and Steve Gahn.
Steve Gahn. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I think Steve. Oh, fuck. When did Steve Gahn? What did we do with Steve Gahn? This is where you need Mike L's little database there. He has
yeah.
Steve Gahn.
Was it one of those horror anthologies?
I think so. It was one of them horror books, I think. But I can't remember which one. But anyway. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out for next week. But all right. Well, that's a good choice there, Jank. For Star-Lord. I had no idea there was a special on Disney Plus. Is James Gunn involved?
I think so, yeah.
Then I will not be watching it. All right. So next week, be back here for Marvel Preview issue 4 for Star-Lord. And until then, don't get any jank on you.